The factional secretary general of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Okechukwu Isiguzoro, tells Edward Nnachi that political office holders in the southeast have failed the people and should forget seeking re-election in 2023. Well, you said the southeast governors and senators in the southeast who failed to stop the sit-at-home ordered by the indigenous people of Biafra in the region should not contest in 2023 elections. Do you think that was too harsh? Don't you think that was too harsh? He said, okay, whether it was harsh or not, I don't even care. Now, what is the primary aim of governance? Is it not to protect lives and property? These governors and senators who are state actors have lost out to non-state actors. What do you expect? Do they still have the mandate again? Have they not lost it? What we are saying is that any governor or senator who has failed the people should not even think of seeking re-election again because they have failed to protect lives and property in their state and senatorial districts. They have failed. Igbo leaders, governors, senators, House of Representatives members, House of Assembly members, among others, have all failed the people. But do you think South East governors and senators whom IPOB believes are part of the problems of the region would have been able to stop the sit at home by the group? Well, most of these governors lack the requisite knowledge and historical antecedent of how the Igbo nation has evolved, and so they approach the affairs of Ndigbo with lackadaisical attitude. Most of these governors were imposed on the people. Most of them didn't pass through the rudiments of leadership to be where they are now. Most of them have failed to look into history as a guide to ensure the Igbo nation is placed on the right path of progress and unity. The reason why they may not be able to handle the sit-at-home in the region is because the interest of most of them is the monthly allocation from Abuja and retiring same into their private pocket. So if IPOB is part of our problem, the governors and senators must set up their responsibility of really becoming the chief security officers of their various states, and if not, we will continue to look at them as part of the problem. Have you not seen the way the government or the governors of the Southwest came together and formed Amotekun? Are you not seeing the way the Northerners are rallying around in spite of the insecurity in the region to assist President Muhammadu Buhari to deal decisively with it? Don't you see how the governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum, is fighting to mitigate insecurity in his state? But here, the governors and senators are only interested in monthly allocation and not in the security of lives and property. Security is local, which is why Ohaneze keeps crying to the governors to return to their original role as the chief security officers of their various states. If the governors really want to stop this sit at home, they have the capacity to do so. It is a matter of liaising with Ohaneze to squell this monster. We are using this opportunity to call on President Muhammadu Buhari to caution the governors of the Southeast to live up to expectations. Buhari will call them. Whether the region dies or not, whether the region progresses or it divides or crumbles, it's none of Buhari's business. Be waiting for them, for Buhari to call them. Waiting for Buhari to call them to order. Like, seriously, you are going to be there till eternity. Where do you intend? This same Ohaneze, the spokesperson, this is Isiguzuru, is being asked that how do you intend to stop the governors and senators who may wish to contest in 2023? And he said, let me tell you something. The Ime Obi, which is the highest decision-making body of Ohaneze, made up of former governors, senators, Senate presidents, speakers, industrialists, and successful businessmen and women, will come together towards the end of this tenure to look at the scorecards of these various governors and senators to decide whether they deserve to return or not. The decision will be decided by the Assembly of Ohaneze. It is not about Isiguzoro, Obiozo, or Chidi Ibe. They will say, as this one lived up to expectation? Has this one done well? Has this one lifted its constituent from the dungeon of poverty and suffering? But currently, we are still watching, because when you look at the current plight of Indigo, you will begin to wonder whether the Igbo still have leaders. Our leaders have failed us. Well, do you have any message for Southeast governors and senators who may want to ignore your group's warning to stay away from 2023 election? Our problem, and even the governors are aware of it. It is what we no longer is that we no longer have a leaders in the region. We need the likes of a Francis Ella, the likes of a Francis Akano Ibiam, the likes of Michael Okpara, the likes of a Sam Mbakwe, the likes of Chukwemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, and so on. What we currently have is a crop of people who are looking out for their own selfish interests. They are looking for money and not the welfare of the masses. Let me tell you, this is a wake-up call on the governors and senators. We are not attacking them because they are sons and daughters of Indigo, but they should wake up and do the right thing. The year 2023 is the turn of Indigo, and nobody should joke with it. Across the 6 geopolitical zones, the slogan is that the Igbo should be given a chance. Well, what negative effects has this at home brought to the Southeast, and how can the situation be changed? Of course, nobody needs to tell anyone the consequences of this sit-at-home order. One thing is that who are the people in charge of the sit-at-home? So if you give an order for people to do something and you say, okay, you suspend it, so does it mean that the people are still going to be held responsible? Well, of course, the Southeast governors have really been facing problems from the people. The dangers of their negligence, including the sit-at-home, are already staring them in their faces. They are facing the wrath of the people. The message is to them: if they don't turn a new leaf, what is ahead of them will consume all of them. If they fail to sit up and address what confronts the Igbo now, what is ahead will consume all of them. But let me say this: among the governors of the region, there are some of them who are still listening, but they should rise up and save the Igbo nation. Igbo are looking for leaders, not political jobbers. Looking at what the sit-at-home has done in the Southeast region, a lot of businesses have relocated from the region, and this is why the leaders of the zone must rise to stop all of this. What about the education, the region? Children no longer go to school freely. There was a time pupils were stopped from writing the West African Senior School Certificate examination. This is uncalled for. The economy of the region is in shambles, and the place is turning into another Afghanistan and Syria. This is really, really worrisome. So guys, let's hear your opinion and have a take on this.